this is a more plates, more dates thing. I think I've showed it before.
Okay.
It'll be like the first 15, 20 seconds. You'll know when to stop it.
Yeah, I know this.
and it's the kind of shit I might fall for because I don't know what's supposed to be what. All right, here we go. Volume on.
You're a little kid who doesn't know how to read labels. You. We're putting in this ingredient at 1 milligram, so it makes it seem like the formula is more comprehensive. Eat my dick. Add his ATP at 1 milligram. Like these two ingredients, you might as well drop your nuts on my head. Like that's how bad this is.
But I don't know. I see it's in there and think it's
dude. I used to buy all of the snake oil when I was like 18. I would take all the money that I had and I would go to GNC. And I remember there was this. It tasted so weird. It was black. It was a liquid, and I would take like little teaspoons of it and drink it. I don't even remember what it did. I don't know.
Nothing. It
did nothing. It did nothing. It tasted so awful.
You're just drinking a mystery black liquid for general health.
I bought it off the shelf at GNC, and it was for I don't know, make you strong, and it just tasted awful. And I would drink it and be like, oh, this is terrible. I hope I'm getting strong. And then the creatine back then was Celtec. That was the brand.
Oh yeah.
And Celtec came in this huge canister. It was $70 or $80 with tax. We were almost at $80, and it was mostly sugar and like fillers and fruit punch flavors. And you had to take huge scoops of it to get the correct amount. But they told you that you needed like way more than the correct amount, and they told you needed to not stack it. You needed to like take a heavy dose to begin with to like load up on it get saturated, which is, I don't think you need to do that. That's nonsense anyway. Just take your 5 a day and keep
trying to get
going.
you to work through their product.
So by the time you like did that double dose for a week or 10 days or whatever, you're running low out of your $70 worth of fucking Celtec. And it tastes like shit anyway. It's like, it's a heartburn that like burning your mouth, and like, it's gross. It was all snake oil. I'd buy it all. And so it's great to have Derek there or anybody there being like, hey, this works, that doesn't. This works, that doesn't.
Yeah.
And
I like how Derek will even talk about stuff like his video on like his glycerol that I'll use to like get a better pump. He'll be straight up and be like, is this really necessary? No, there's no world in which this is a necessary item. Will it give you a better pump? Yeah, some people say it will. And for me, it does. So, if that's what you're looking for, this is a thing. Is it going to improve your training? No. Like, and I'm like, oh, well, that's honesty. Like, I believe you.
I got 10 pounds of that shit downstairs.
And that builds up his credibility. So when he's like, this actually is an important amount, an important threshold to meet, I'm like, okay, well, I believe you there. Like you've done the due diligence clearly.
No, I like his content a lot. He's been on Rogan at least once, right? Or is it twice now?
Twice, I think.
Nice. Hopefully a third one coming up soon.
I saw Kamaru Usman. By the way, all right, for Taylor's benefit, Kamaru Usman, one of the scarier human beings on the planet. What weight class is that? Is that 190?
170, the Nigerian Nightmare.
He just lost his championship, but like he's coming right back to take it over again. And he was on Rogan's show, kind of talking about this big championship loss he just sustained. And he brought up Derek, and he was like, "Yeah, this fucking nerd on the internet, man." He said he looked at my these scars on my body, and they're from freezing off moles, and then they scarred up bad. But he saw them and said, "Oh, that's steroids for sure. I know it." And I was like, God damn, it hurt my feelings, man. Everybody in the comments, and I was like, Derek hurt Kamaru Usman's feelings. Fuck yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And then Joe's like, oh yeah, that's Derek from More Plates, More Dates. He hurt your feelings. It's so great that Joe like shouted it out, or just like had the answer right there. He knew.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, if you think about the Joe Rogan world, like I don't really listen to his show, but like all the workout science tech like supplement thing, like who would be better as a guest than someone
Derek's
like
a tremendous
Derek?
Guest, like, because Joe's always coming up against that thing when he's talking about athletics, sports, anything that might be performance enhancing adjacent, where he doesn't have that hard data, that expert analysis, and Derek can jump in and be like, he tested for that? Oh, he tested for that? Well, bullshit. Nobody in his position would ever take that. And if they did, they'd never take it without this. Oh, he tested for this. Case closed, then he's guilty. And it's like,
that's it.
He knows.
He's like, John Jones, he took a gas station dick pill and that happened. And Derek's like, well, he was caught for 6 things at the same time. And he like had his whole USADA test results memorized. And it was like, he just very guilty. That was not in a way a gas station dick pill.
Yeah, Derek's great.
They need to just allow steroids in the UFC. Is there an argument in favor of that? Is anyone taking that mantle?
I think most people think that if the sports involved hurting each other, performance enhancing drugs are a bad idea.
Where's Vitor fighting now? Where's he at now?
Still fighting? Is he in bare
he's TRT again. He's huge.
TRT tour or whatever they call him.
The reason I'm asking is because and Oberim too. He's still fighting and he looks huge again. So wherever those guys are, they don't test. So nobody tests like UFC. That USADA thing is. I'm sure you've heard that. It's an acronym, right?
Yes.
They're real deal. They supposedly they catch a lot of people.
Nobody's perfect. They're the best there is.
Exactly. I am of the mind, and I bet Derek would co-sign this if he were here, that if you've got enough money, you're never catching me. If you've got a chemist who's smart and enough money, they're never going to catch you. What they might do is if your chemist is dumb and you don't pay them enough, he might have a bigger clientele base than he should. And then somebody's shit gets tested 30 years from now. We froze that guy's pee. And 30 years from now, they'll be able to test for what they're popping for. But if they're making designer drugs that are meant to get around the test, they've already got the test, now they just got to beat it. That's a good position to be in if you're some sort of genius chemist with unlimited funds, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think so.
My understanding is, although the genius chemist is something I've heard before, when I hear the fighters talking about dodging USADA, they talk about the travel schedule. They're like, you go train in Thailand, you go train in whatever, somewhere else it's a pain in the ass to get to, and the testers don't find you. Yeah,
I wonder, from the outside looking in, I think the two most important things if you're cheating, the performance enhancing substance you'd want something that's for recovery and healing, both for those nagging injuries between fight camps, but to have a good fight camp, to be able to get in. If you can do wrestling 5 more times in that 6 weeks than the other guy, because you just heal up a little better and you can get in another practice, you can get in those extra reps or whatever and get a little bit sharper, and then still have that cardio and that edge when you get there. That EPO stuff that Dillashaw was using, massive. That's the other one. Having more cardio than you should is huge too.
I agree with everything you said. There are some steroids that help you retain muscle while you're in a calorie deficit. It seems like
steroids, more or less. Testosterone is great at that. Like that's one of the things.
Is there one that starts with an A that's all about retaining muscle while in a calorie deficit?
Anavar, also known as oxandrolone, is in an oral steroid that mostly ladies do. But I don't think that's that'll help you with strength. That'll help you with recovery. Not necessarily with it'd be like a plateau buster more than anything.
But then I must be thinking of the wrong thing. Anyway,
but just having the enhanced testosterone when you go into a cut, when your body will hang on to that muscle a lot better than it normally would, because if you start starving your body, it starts burning that muscle for. I guess it's easier to burn than fat.